All right, what is going on, good people? We back at it once again. I still got the dang on still graphic up here. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I have been live. I missed y'all, but y'all know what this is. It's Fly Nation Speaks. It is your favorite Baltimore Ravens podcast where we cover the best team in NFL history. If you're a Ravens fan, of course. But we back. I got a special guest tonight. I ain't even gonna reveal him yet. I'm gonna keep y'all on the edge of y'all seats. And like always, and fellow podcaster that I got on tonight too. You can listen to this person's podcast as well on all the different platforms that you saw at the beginning of your show. So Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify. Actually, it's not Anchor anymore. It's Spotify for podcasters now. But all the major platforms, so your favorite platform and then your favorite platform's favorite platform, you can listen to them all right there. But let me introduce my guest because we're going to talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about these Bears. We're going to talk a little bit about these Bears, and I tell you what, they didn't win and turned it around, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little jealous. I'm a little jealous of what's going on in Chicago, but let's bring the man in. Let's bring the man in, the man, the myth, the legend. Look, this man right here. He never been on the show before, but if you know me for a while, you will know who this man is. This is Rabid Jones from the Third Perspective podcast, and we started this thing a long time ago. We started. We did a couple shows together, and then he didn't went and did his podcast thing. I didn't went and did my podcast thing, and then we try to come together. Definitely. We should probably do it more often, to be honest with you. It's probably my fault, but anyway, Rabid is a Bears fan. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, just in case you don't know him. He got one of the top podcasts. In the RVA area up there, DC area, he got one of the top podcasts up there. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and then we'll jump into some conversation.
Most definitely. Appreciate you, boy. It's your fault that I'm podcasting. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you a whole lot. Think about the 84. You know what I'm saying, dog? 84. This is before they won. Think about it. This is before they went to the championship. Now, I was in love with Walter Payton. That's my man. You know what I'm saying, dog? And then once we went on that run, now y'all know that defense was stupid in 85. You know what I'm saying? I was a young cub at the time. You know what I'm saying, dog? A youngin'. And I'm sitting there looking at this joint, looking like, these boys are crazy. You know what I'm saying, dog? Even though I liked a lot of people around the league like Tony Dorsett. You know what I'm saying, dog? But my love for the Bears has got me to this point where all these years we've been mediocre, right? I've been watching all these teams have all these running quarterbacks all over the place, including yours, the Ravens, And I sit back and like, why can't I have one of those? And guess what happened? Justin Fields, baby. 1,200 yards rushing. We almost got you too. You almost got you, Jack.
You look. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was letting I want to see Justin Fields do well. But Lamar, my boy. So I always got to be like, just don't break the record. You can get close though. You can get close. Just don't break it.
I was heated when they set out that last game. You know what I'm saying? And he set out that last game. He was gonna break the record. It was easy, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate the fact that now I have one, just like you. You're not all the way secure like I am. Right. With my running quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Justin Fields, baby. Super Bowl we come. Super Bowl shuffle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Let's talk about this real quick because
shuffle.
I'm trying to think of where I want to start because really, number one, let's just start with the elephant in the room because I know you guys have made moves and I expect y'all to be good next year because I think y'all showed flashes this year. But it just the wins didn't necessarily stack up. But it felt like you guys were must see TV regardless, just because of Justin Fields, and of course the defense is always going to be good and stuff like that. But it's very interesting. I want to ask your thoughts on this because of course, me being a Ravens fan, I have been through what this ridiculous offseason. That's all I can say about this offseason. It has been crazy. Lamar Jackson is still not paid as of right now. And I've been through my ebbs and flows, right? I felt on one hand like I don't know if it's gonna happen because that's kind of what the Ravens do. They don't really pay. They just kind of like reset. They fall into another quarterback and then they reset and try again. But then I'm like, Lamar Jackson is special. Like Lamar Jackson is one of one, right? In the same way that Justin Fields is one of one, in the same way that Mahomes is one of one. Like they different players and they great for their different things. And it's just hard, it's hard to even think that they would trade him. It's hard to think that they wouldn't match whatever offer comes through the door. And it's hard to think that they wouldn't pay him because you've seen him without him. You've seen him with him. It's two totally different stories. You don't make the playoffs without him. You don't win in the playoffs without him. And you can bring up the playoff records and all that, but it's one of those things where I feel like if it was another quarterback negotiating right now, I don't think it would be as much of a problem. Some of that could be because of the agent, yes. Some of that could be, just some other stuff that goes with it because it's Lamar Jackson and he's different and he beats to the beat of his own drum, as they say, right? Like, and I've been talking about this before, Rabid. Like, I wish I could see this contract negotiated by a Justin Herbert or a Joe Burrow, especially Justin Herbert, because Justin Herbert don't have the playoff wins. So that's the only thing that people like to bring, like to put on Lamar. But even Burrow, right? Like, I would love to see if Burrow came to the Bengals and said, I want a fully guaranteed contract. And we don't, that's all alleged, right? Like, if he said, I want a lot of money guaranteed, let's just put it that way, would the Bengals give it to him? Or is it because it's Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson doesn't act like your prototypical quarterback, doesn't play like your prototypical quarterback?
Did you freeze?
That Jackson has not been paid yet.
Me personally, right?
I mean, and that's the thing, Rabid. I want to know what your thoughts are, because like, if you put yourself in my shoes, right? Like, it's Justin Fields' 5th year, he ain't been paid yet, and you got this crazy offseason where, like, Rabid, when I tell you, Lamar Jackson don't got to do nothing, he's still the topic of conversation every day. It never stops since he's been in the league.
It's a lot to unpack on Lamar Jackson, right? Because it's a lot going on there. Two things, right? We're at the huge contract for my man with the 22 charges on his neck. When they gave him the guaranteed money, that kind of broke things down where it made Lamar delusional. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say some of this is more his fault, because he is now jumping out on a limb thinking, okay, he got that, I should have that. And if I don't get that, that's that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's a different situation what Washington was in, because it was a bidding war. They was bidding over him.
Right.
So that's going to make somebody do something crazy like they did,
Yeah.
Now you have a situation where nobody won't ever want to go do that no more. Nobody want guaranteed contracts no more. So nobody going to jump out there. First of all, you're going to get 2 first-round picks. That's going to be tough. You know what I'm saying?
You wouldn't give up 2 first-round picks for a sure thing, though? Like, so for example, like, this is, and this is always my argument around that is, for example, a quarterback needy team, like, let's just say the Colts, because they're probably the best option right now, right? Like, you need a quarterback. You ain't sniffed a quarterback since Andrew Luck. Like, you've been going through this carousel of hoping to compete, not being as good as you think you are. All you need is a quarterback. And you know this. All you need is a quarterback to, like, take you to that next level. right?
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback isn't everything, but he is a very important thing. 2 first-round picks for that is nothing, right? Because I mean, think about it. The Panthers, for example, with the Bears, right? The Panthers just gave y'all 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks and a number 1 receiver for their quarterback of the future. So, and the thing is about it is for a chance at their quarterback of the future. Because yes, you got your pick of everybody, but sometimes when you can't see the forest through the trees, right? Sometimes you got so many quarterbacks at your disposal. Because if they pick Anthony Richardson, it's gonna probably be a mistake because they could have got him at 9, right? So that's my biggest thing is people have traded more to get a chance at a guy who might do similar to what Lamar Jackson has done. And Lamar Jackson has done a lot of things.
Exactly. That's the thing that throws me off too, when people act like, all right, like 2 first-round picks in the future, 24, 25. Like, that's not even a person yet. We don't even know that person, who that is. You know what I'm saying? So I would actually take, like the Bears traded for, I would actually do that first before doing something that's unknown. You know what I'm saying? But the league is changing where all the owners now want an athletic quarterback, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to keep playing these teams, but their quarterback is running over them, right? And the Baltimore Ravens is stuck in a position. First of all, they should have been signed him when he was MVP.
Thank
You know
you.
what I'm saying? So that's the difference between Burrow and all those, because they're gonna get signed this year, which is
they're gonna get signed. They're gonna get signed when they should be signed. And It was funny because, and I don't know, if you've heard this, but I've heard that Lamar Jackson said, so after Josh Allen got signed, I think Lamar Jackson said, I don't want to sign a long-term contract until I win a Super Bowl. Now, considering who Lamar Jackson is, now I wouldn't necessarily put it past him saying that, because I know the competitor that he is, right? He wants to prove it, then get his money. I get that. But my thought process is this. If you put a contract bigger than Josh Allen's in front of Lamar Jackson and say, take it or leave it, 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10, the guy in front of you is probably going to sign it because it's the highest contract in the NFL at that time. What more can you ask for? So that's my caveat to people who say, well, he didn't want to sign it because he wanted to win a Super Bowl first. I mean, if you put more money in front of me than I've ever seen in my life, I'm probably going to take that money. And I'm just a regular person. And I understand he's very strategic about it. But at the time when you can sign him at his 3rd year,
exactly,
right?
That's where I fought the Ravens at right there.
Yeah,
because
and history has a way of repeating itself, Rabid. That's my other issue with the Ravens, right? I don't want to make this a me rant, so my bad. But history has a way of repeating itself, because the Ravens did the same thing with Joe Flacco. And you can say what you want about Joe Flacco, right? But Joe Flacco came in, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He gave you playoff success. He literally took you to the AFC Championship game with a chance to kick a gimme field goal to win the game, and you missed it. He handed the ball practically to Lee Evans. He dropped it, right? And they didn't want to sign him. Now, albeit, I talked about this before, Lamar Jackson is a whole nother caliber of player than Joe Flacco was.
Exactly.
That's my issue, though. It took Joe to win a Super Bowl for you to pay him. So why is it that I should believe in my organization, right, that I love so much? I really do. Why should I believe that the Ravens are not going to do the same darn thing that they did before? Like, what makes me believe that? What makes me believe that they're not going to just let Lamar Jackson walk and hope they fall into another quarterback as good as Lamar Jackson, and who has done what Lamar Jackson has, top 4 in wins all time for the starts that he's had? Who does that? Unanimous MVP, 1 of 2 unanimous MVPs. Right?
Like, it's the thing you missing, though, right?
Led the league in touchdown passes, but can't pass. Led the league in touchdown passes, number 1, with guys you can't even name.
But you missing the big picture. Like I said, there's a lot to unpack with Lamar, right?
I agree with that.
he is the forefront of the dynamic running quarterbacks, right? To this date, they haven't won a Super Bowl. If you want to say Holmes is one, I don't think he's really a runner like a Fields and
Right.
Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
He improvised and get out of the pocket, move around the pocket, but get out there and just start going upfield, 90 yards and all that. Nah, that's not a Holmes thing, right? So Lamar Jackson is like the forefront of the new age quarterback. Whether we don't know if this will work or not. You got to realize this is the first of remember Randall Cunningham was a running quarterback, but he stayed in the pocket with his running.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Jackson is like the forefront of if Fields is coming, and it ain't too much. What's his name in Phoenix? But he hurt his leg.
Kyler Murray, yeah.
Kyler Murray. These are the people, and Kyler Murray got his money.
Yep.
They in the forefront of running, but the problem is not proving you can win like that, right? So the owners are hesitant on paying the quarterbacks anyway. And then if it's a running quarterback, they're really hesitant on paying them because they think they're going to get hurt the next play. I mean, the next play they run.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, like Lamar Jackson and Fields, is they have to get their contracts in the third year. You know what I'm saying? No matter how good they play that year, you have to go in there and get your contracts early. You cannot be a quarterback that play, I'm going to pick up your fifth year and all this. Still play 5 years now. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. And that's another thing. I think they need to change that too. There's no way you're going to have a motherfucker play 5 whole seasons. You know what I'm saying? And you still wondering you want to play him, you want to keep him or not. That's some silly shit to me. Yeah? Like, you know if you keep him not, you don't want the championships, you don't want MVPs. It's like you ain't made up your mind yet if you want him yet. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Right? And then on the flip side, I blame him because for reports say 133 million for 3 years, and he verified that.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's a ticket. Mm-hmm. You can't turn down 133 guaranteed for just 3 years. Mm-hmm. So for him to throw that out, that was silly. Because to us, the normal people, it's like, bro, you should be playing with that. You know what I'm saying? What are you holding on for now? You know what I'm saying? So to me, that tells us he want 220, 230 guaranteed. You feel me?
But my thing is, and I've heard the number kind of dangled out like around 200 is probably what people feel like he deserves. My only thing is,
do you think he deserves 200 million guaranteed?
Absolutely.
Do you think Tom Brady ever deserved 200 guaranteed?
I mean, it's a different time frame though. Like that, the cap changes. No, you know that though. The cap changes. So, like for example, Mahomes' contract, the total value of his contract would have never been signed in Tom Brady's. When Tom Brady was getting his big contract, right? Every quarterback gets their big contract at one time. So, like, I can't. So here's my thing. I can't blame Lamar. For wanting what Deshaun Watson got because until
really
wait. Let me explain first. Because here's the thing: the market is the market until it's not, right? So the last guy that got paid, he got $230 million. Just so y'all know, I'm better than him. I won an MVP. I've got better play. Like it may not be much, but I've got better playoff successes than he does, right? So that's another thing too. Also, Lamar Jackson is like 85-90% of the Ravens offense because of his running ability and passing ability. Do you think
Lamar Jackson is better than Rodgers
right now?
Period.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson better than Aaron Rodgers.
Now here's the thing, because
Aaron Rodgers.
Look, and they kind of they kind of on the same. Rodgers? Look, let me say it like this: the talent around them is kind of on the same playing field. But
no, I'm talking about their talent alone as a quarterback. Which one better?
So, okay, I would say Aaron Rodgers is probably more accurate, but also we don't know. So here's my thing with Lamar Jackson: we don't know Lamar Jackson's ceiling in terms of being accurate because his receivers drop the most balls, right? get the least amount of chances, and on top of that, he's got the least talented receiving roster in the league. You can't name one of Lamar Jackson's receivers that's not Mark Andrews.
First of all, if he had an agent, the agent could turn to him and told him, "This is unprecedented, my boy. I'm gonna let you know now. You want $230 million. This is unprecedented. You were looking at Watson, but he had a bidding war going over there. We don't have one of those."
And that's true. That's true. I'll say this, and this goes for like real life too, right? Like, you can't get what you don't ask for. So like, just because I say, or just because it's perceived, because I don't think we really know what he really wants, right? But just because it's perceived that I want what Deshaun Watson got.
We agree that the 3 years, $133 million he turned down. He said that out of his mouth.
But maybe he wanted more than 3 years.
Okay,
right? So because you've already said
$133 million guaranteed, right?
But here's the thing: you've already said
you know he want more than that.
Okay, yeah, but you already said that running quarterbacks, we're unsure about them, right? Like they have a shorter shelf life because they take more hits, even though Lamar Jackson doesn't take as many hits, right? Lamar Jackson's injuries have been in the pocket behind the offensive line that he makes look better. So my thing about that is, right, if I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm 90% of my team's offense, right? They run me into the ground every single year. They won't give me receivers. Mm-hmm. I get one big contract. I get one more than likely, right? Not even necessarily that he won't last past the contract, more so just because you take less as you go along, right? So I get one big contract. I got to take all I can get. I'm putting my body on the line because they're putting every game they're putting the team on my back.
But not because you explain to me what makes him different, where he deserved $200-something million, and people like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady do not get $250 million guaranteed. He's not doing that much.
But I'm saying, like, Aaron Rodgers.
You see what I'm saying?
So, and I get what you're saying, but I'm saying Aaron Rodgers at this stage in his career doesn't deserve $200 million guaranteed, and he won't get that because he's
can you answer this question? Is there any point in his career would he ever deserve that?
I mean, I would say so. Yeah. I mean,
he won 2 back-to-back MVPs last year.
That's what I just said. I would agree. Yes, I think he deserves. I think if you take Rodgers, right, you put him where Justin Herbert is, and it's time to negotiate, and he is at that age of his career, he coming off an MVP or whatever, right? Yes, I think that Rodgers deserved that money. Same thing with Tom Brady, right? If Tom Brady's winning you more Super Bowls during his time than the Steelers won in their entire existence, yeah, I would say he deserves that money. But you got to also remember, back then that wasn't the cap, right? The cap goes up every single year.
True.
And like that's the difference. But my thing is this: if like Lamar Jackson might not even want what Deshaun got, right? He might just be trying to get everything he can while he can get it. Because kind of like I just said before, after this contract, like he's probably not going to get 200 guaranteed anymore. It'll go down for him because he'll be older, right? He'll be older. He might want to win more, whatever the case may be.
Somebody gave him bad advice, bro, from the beginning. So now, if Watson had 230 guaranteed, if he went in saying I don't want nothing less than 190 guaranteed, he had been got that. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? He's dead set on being more than Watson, and that's somebody telling some shit that's not qualified to tell him what to do. It's no way possible. I can see telling him to push the issue on that.
I can see where you coming from with that, but like I don't remember what the cliche is, but you reach for the stars and hope to fall to the moon, right? Or something like that. Whatever the thing is, right? But like you reach for as much as you can get because Deshaun Watson is the market until the owners say it's not. But as of right now, besides the fact that you don't have a contract right now, we don't know what the market is. We don't know if Deshaun Watson's an outlier because he's the last contract.
It's a team in the league that will pay him $230 guaranteed.
I think it depends on
what he want to make.
I think it depends on the team, right? I think, and I'll put it like this: I think the owners don't want to pay fully guaranteed contracts anyway, right? Not up to that amount of money.
So do
Because
you agree he need to step down? Somebody need to advise him to come down on this. He got to budge.
So, but here's the thing, and he's kind of in a good position right now because let's just say the Colts. I mean, it's kind of a weird position to be in because the Colts could offer him something that the Ravens would never something that they feel like the Ravens would never match, right? Let's say they offer him 6 years, $250 million, just because, right? Just because I know for a fact,
guaranteed.
Yeah, guaranteed. They say we're gonna offer you this because they thinking number one, we got the number 4 pick, I think it is, right? So if this don't work out, we got the number 4 pick. Number two, the Ravens probably aren't gonna match this, and they have to match it. Like they have to eat it, right? It's a strategic play. If I was a GM, I would offer him, what is it? 6 years, $231 million. Especially if I'm the Colts, because I got the number 4 pick, so I can get
6 years.
Huh?
There's no way he's signing that.
No, but but you see what I'm saying? Like my thought process is offer him something absurd.
Oh, okay.
And the Ravens have to you put the Ravens in a binding position because the Ravens can say we lose our QB because we don't want to match it or can't match it, or, and I don't even know if this is possible, or the Ravens say, you know what, we're gonna match it. Now who you gonna put around Lamar? Because like what Lamar wants probably leaves a little bit of room to be desired here and there to put some pieces together, right?
I'm waiting for you to get to that.
But my other thing is if I'm another team and I throw a ridiculous offer to him, and of course, I mean, duh, I'm gonna take it. Like, why wouldn't I, right? I offer you a ridiculous amount of money. And the Ravens have to match that. Either I get you and I get my quarterback that I really wanted, or you go back to the Ravens, I keep my 4th round pick, I keep all that money, and we good.
Only problem is if they make an offer, now that's on their books. Then they can't make no moves and transitions in all season or anything.
It's on their books. Unless the Ravens match it. If the Ravens match it, you get all your money back.
If the Ravens say, all right, we're going to think about it for a couple of weeks, you stuck there.
No, they can only think about
anything.
They can only think about it for 5 days. All they get is 5 days. That's it. They get 5 days.
Even if you go the whole 5 days, you stuck there. You can't make no moves. You know how many players you miss?
And that's true, right? But like now, you kind of deep into free agency now. Like there ain't as many players left. Like, and that's why I think people didn't do it at the beginning. But like, from my little GM mind, which probably doesn't make any sense because it probably isn't even logical, but I would give him a ridiculous offer and see if the Ravens want to match it. If they don't, I get my quarterback. If they do, they get their quarterback who they really want to keep. But how they going to
forget if you make a ridiculous offer, you also lose 2 first-round picks. So you don't hamstring your whole organization.
No, I'm saying so if the Colts offer this, right? The Colts offer this.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens match it. They keep Lamar. The Colts keep their 2 first-round picks. They only get it if the Ravens don't match it. Right?
Ravens not going to match something like that.
Okay, so the Ravens send them to the Colts, which I hope
that's why teams are not going to do that because you might get stuck with that.
I mean, yeah,
and you can't do anything no more.
And that's true. But here, so and this is my issue when it comes down to so. If they pay him too much money, then they can't build around him and all this. So why is it that the Ravens are the only organization in the league that can't build wide receiver talent or find wide receiver talent because of money? Because I'm going to guarantee you this.
Bad picks in the draft too.
Bad picks in the draft. But I'm going to guarantee you this, right? Because the Browns are so crippled. Oh, my goodness. Oh my gosh. They are so crippled because they signed Deshaun Watson to a fully guaranteed deal. Number one, they already got Amari Cooper, who is a good receiver. They can draft a really good receiver if they want, right? They didn't do too well last year, so they can draft a really good receiver. But I can guarantee you, they gonna search and find the cap space to make sure that Deshaun Watson is not alone back there. I can guarantee it.
Oh, they already restructured his contract.
Yeah, which I mean, is another offer, but
They already
anyway,
did that.
but I do want to
They
ask you
still
too.
hamstrung though.
Yeah, I mean, and they are, and they're going to be, but like, and that's the thing too, because people feel like the Browns did a bad business move, and I can understand it. Like, I understand both sides. I understand saying, "Dang, they kind of handicapped themselves to this for however
If they
long they
don't go to
did."
playoffs or go to Super Bowl with this dude, it was a
Yeah,
complete bust.
but at the same time, like, think about the Browns organization, right? Think about how long it's been since the Browns have felt like they had a franchise quarterback. The one guy they had that won them a playoff game for the first time in 20 years, they shipped him out the door because the media talked bad about him. So I can understand the Browns organization saying, you know what? If it don't work, there's a plenty of things in this league that don't work. I'm gonna push all my chips to the table and get this really talented quarterback, a guy who's more talented than anybody we've ever had, and we'll figure out how to build around him.
So
right?
you saying teams are more concerned with putting a exciting product on the field rather than winning?
No,
Like
because
they'll have somebody like Lamar, they'd rather have him on the team run around for 17 weeks, right? Other than making sure the team can win.
See,
right?
but here's the
you
thing.
already know getting them, you can't win because you can't do anything once you get them.
But here's the thing. This is my thought process on that. Right? Deshaun Watson gives the Browns a better chance of winning a Super Bowl than any other guy they've had over the past 20, 25 years.
Winning a Super Bowl?
Yeah. But I mean, he gives
you put around them.
He gives you a better chance too. But here's the thing: they already got a good defense. So, like, if they in win now mode, that's the thing about it. Like, yes, they probably need to do it in the next couple years. Why you still got Myles Garrett under contract, right? Why you still got Denzel Ward under contract? Why you still got Nick Chubb under contract, right? Why you still got Amari Cooper under contract? That's a lot of talent, right? Not even just on the offensive end, on both ends, right? So, my thing is, I don't think it's necessarily about the excitement because, I mean, let's be honest, right? And that's another reason why Lamar Jackson deserves his money. Whatever he gets, he deserves it, and probably more than. What? The thing is, the Ravens offense has been top 5 overall, right? Since Lamar Jackson took over. They win games.
Okay.
They score points. And it don't, like, Rabbit, can you name me one wide receiver Lamar Jackson has had?
That's cool. But at the same time, he haven't won anything either.
I mean, he hasn't, but who has?
No, but he haven't won anything either now.
So my thing is this, because the Bengals have offensive talent everywhere.
No winning.
But here's my thing, though, right? The Bengals are exciting. They're fun to watch. They're great. What they won. The Chargers are exciting. They got talent all over the field.
Back up. Now the Bengals win the Super Bowl.
Just because you went didn't mean you won.
Now again, Burrow ain't exciting, gonna run around. He's not sparkly like what's his name is.
But you know who is?
That's gonna put more butts in the seats. But which one gonna win the Super Bowl? Which one gonna take the Super Bowl? Answer that question.
But you know who is? You know who is excited?
Burrow or Jackson? If you had the joint right now, they can tell
Lamar
you right
Jackson,
now. Okay,
absolutely.
We can take. Bruh, be serious right now.
look. Here's my thing. Because
serious.
Look, because you gotta be honest about things. Like, look, hear me out, Rapid, because Joe Burrow's season was on par passing wise to Lamar Jackson's MVP season. Joe Burrow, the talent around him is 10 times better than what Lamar Jackson has ever had. Talent and coaching factors in too, right?
I see that.
Zach Taylor
is on a rookie contract almost 16 years. They ain't had no money to do what they been doing then. They paid Roquan.
I mean, and that's my point. See, like, I don't see, and that's the thing, and that's what I was telling you about before. Like, so for me, right? Like, yes, by no means do I think Lamar Jackson is perfect, right? Of course, every quarterback has issues. Every quarterback has flaws. Every quarterback misses throws. But when you don't have solid coaching when you get into the playoffs. Because like, let's be honest, he's been running with Greg Roman the past 3 years. People from the stands could call Greg Roman's plays, right? Yes, they won an MVP with that system, but that system, it ran its course with the talent that was in it too, right? So my thing is, like, you have to put talent around your QB, and the prime example I use for that is I use two of them. Number one, I'll say Tua, right? They gave him Tyreek Hill. They drafted Jalen Waddle for him, right? I'll give you two of them, right? Those two, like Tua is the first one, because as soon as you started putting talent around him, dude's an MVP candidate. Miami Dolphins are Super Bowl contenders. Like, they could, like, and they really did look like they could beat anybody, right? They really looked like they could beat anybody. The other one who actually did go to the Super Bowl, didn't win it, but he did go, Jalen Hurts. A lot of people last year, and I'll give you a third one too. A lot of people last year said Jalen Hurts, I don't know. I don't know if he's that accurate. I don't know if he's that good. I don't think he's their quarterback of the future. You know what they did? They gave him A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. They gave him weapons that don't drop the ball when you throw it to him. They gave him easy plays that the Ravens organization doesn't give, though. What?
He's not better than Jackson.
He's not, but I'm saying, like, that's the issue. The issue is less about what Lamar Jackson does or doesn't do, and more about the fact that his receivers get the least amount of separation and drop the most balls in the league. Like, that's an issue, because when you get to the playoffs,
you're a Ravens
and you
fan.
ain't got,
You've been watching them. You're a Ravens fan. You've been watching for a while. I need to know, where's the money? So you haven't been paying Jackson, right? He's been on a rookie contract. Where the money at then? Where everything been going? Where the dogs at?
The Ravens been doing this weird thing where they have a lot of middle tier guys on contracts that just slowly eat up your cap, right? So Nick Boyle, who hasn't played in like 2 years, like, he was making like 10 million, I think, or something. Like it's just it's small little contracts. You got 3 or 4 running backs on the roster. You kept 5 tight ends on the roster this season. 5 tight ends on the roster this season. The defense is getting a lot of money, right? Not even necessarily Roquan now, but Marlon Humphrey, right? Marcus Williams, Marcus Peters was getting a decent check. Calais Campbell's getting kind of one of those middle tier checks. So really, I mean, more so it's the defense. The defense gets all the money, they get all the resources, and they don't pour into the offense because it's not the Ravens' way. The Ravens' way is run the ball and play good defense. It always has been.
So right here, you're looking at the top quarterback pays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, as we look at these joints, me and you got to agree. Okay, Patrick Mahomes, $45 million a year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the top. That's the mega thing for everybody want to reach, right? Do you think as a quarterback in the league should be making what he make?
Now, I'll put it to you like this. So I don't want to explain too much because I want to give you my first answer, which, if we talking about by like talent, if that's how the cap worked, if the cap worked based off of who's the best quarterback every year, they make the most money. No, but the cap works. The next guy gets higher than the next guy.
Okay, I get that.
Right.
So right now, Josh Allen's making 43.
Because I think because
they gave him a contract already.
Who, Josh Allen? Yeah. Remember, that's what I was telling you about before. Like, they could have paid Lamar Jackson at that time and they didn't. Right, because Josh Allen. Because remember, Josh Allen was one of the most inaccurate quarterbacks in the league until what did they do? They gave him a weapon to make things easier for him. Right, Lamar Jackson don't get these little gimme throws that every other quarterback. Them little wide open throws.
Concentrate on defense more. I got you.
Yeah, he don't get that. Like, you can see any of these guys except for maybe Russell Wilson last year, because goodness. But like, everybody else on this list that you see, they get easy throws. Like, their dudes screaming wide open because they have the wide receiver talent to do it.
All right, so 133 guaranteed over 3 years is what? That's like 40 million a year, right? How much is that? 133 over 3 years guaranteed.
My
That
math
should
is
put
off.
him somewhere above Watson and somewhere where Kyler Murray at,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I mean, here's the thing. Like at the end of the day, he might end up just taking that. But I think he
Russell
did want
Wilson
to.
making 50.
I know, right? I think he did want to like
Am I looking at this
take.
right? Hold up.
I think he
Damn,
wanted
Russell
to.
Wilson
I
is
think
making
he wanted to
48.
test the market to see, because like even Lamar Jackson's probably like, I don't know what the market is either, because Deshaun Watson got all this money, and then you got everybody else. Well, I'm better than Deshaun Watson. I might as well at least try to get more than Deshaun. If I don't
Okay,
get it, I'm still gonna take something. I'm
let's
still gonna
look
get
at
money.
it for a minute. Where should he be? All right, first of all, you got Matthew Stafford at 40 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Dak Prescott at 40 million a year. Dunk
Yep.
Daniel Jones. All right, I don't even want to look at this no more.
So
Daniel
sort it.
Jones.
So
Wow.
can you sort it based off of the guaranteed money?
Wow. Oh,
I think
guaranteed.
it's I think, or actually sort it by the per year. I think that's the second column. The second one is I think that's the per year number.
Yeah, 40 million. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Daniel Jones just got paid, so it kind
Let's
of
look
makes
at
sense.
Daniel Jones. All right, first of all, he better than Daniel Jones.
Yeah, he deserves more than Daniel Jones. I'll say
Derek down here too at 37. So let's stay at 40.
yeah.
Derek
So and I'll say this.
he should be making more than golf.
I would say he deserves more than Matt Stafford because Matt Stafford's on the back end of his career. So Matt Stafford, his big payday was earlier on.
All right,
He deserves more than that.
Right, we got to start at 40 already because
Yeah.
Dante Jones shouldn't even be in the picture. So you got Dante Jones. We're gonna start at him. Jackson should be making what he making already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
40 million a year. Let's start there.
Absolutely.
You think he been offered 40 million a year? He had to be offered that. 40 million a year?
So
he had to be offered that.
Here's the thing. So go up to the top 5. Because I'm looking at 46 for Deshaun, which technically, and that might even be based off of.
Deshaun is at 46, yeah. Kyler Murray at 46. Russell
I think he deserves better than Kyler Murray. He deserves more. He deserves more than Russell or Deshaun.
Dak Prescott
and Josh Allen too.
Matthew Stafford.
So I mean, he deserves to be in the at least in the second spot.
46 and some change. He should be at 48. 40.
I think, and I mean, looking at this, I think total, he deserves more. He deserves what? At least 260.
I don't know because Patrick Mahomes at 45.
But his is over 10 years too. His is over 10 years with like they literally gave him shares of the baseball team so he can make more money. So like there's a lot of incentives in his deal that are like
40 a year and 45 a year.
Yeah.
Right? Or you want to go to Rodgers at 50? Do you think
50?
Rodgers at 50? Yeah.
If we're talking about Rodgers the way he played last year,
that's what I mean. When you make the trade, if I'm Jackson, if I'm the Jets making this trade, I'm going off what he did last year. I don't care what he did all them other, you know what I'm saying, centuries ago. Yeah. I wasn't grading the player that you giving me from last year. You know what I'm saying? And that's not no 50 million player, 50 million a year player. But that's what he make though.
Yeah,
What you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think he deserves more than Rodgers. I don't know if he'd get 50 million a year per se, but I do want to ask you about the Bears real quick too. So, see, that's exactly what I was saying before. The Bears are doing exactly what I would have hoped the Ravens would have did with their situation with their quarterback on a rookie deal. I like what the Bears have done, right? The Bears not only traded the number 1 pick, they got the number 9 pick. They still got a top 5 pick. They got not a first overall pick, but a first round pick for next year. And they got a second round pick for this year and next year too, I think, I'm not mistaken. and they got DJ Moore, right? They got their quarterback some help. So I think I don't think the way the Bears did it in terms of they had to lose enough to get the first overall pick and stuff like that may not be the way people want to do it. But in terms of what they're doing right now, so they grabbed Chase Claypool at the trade deadline, which I would have taken Chase Claypool of any of those other guys that was on the Ravens roster from wide receiver position this year. I'm just saying. That's and then on top of that, they went and grabbed DJ Moore. They grabbed the number 9 pick, another first for next year, a second for this year, and a second for next year. Like, I feel like the Panthers got fleeced in that deal. I really do.
But they wanted a quarterback, so you can't really say somebody getting fleeced when they want a quarterback.
Who he throwing to, right? Like, I get it that you're going to get your quarterback of the future. That's cool. But who is my man throwing to? I need to know. Because you didn't got rid of – like, here's the thing about it, right? Now they got Miles Sanders. See, and they've been aggressive, right? So they got Miles Sanders, which is a good pickup. They got Hayden Hurst, which is a good pickup. They still got to figure out what they're going to do at receiver. But, I mean, at first, initially when this came out, I mean, that means DJ Moore's gone. That means Robbie Anderson's gone. That means CMC is gone, right? I think they got rid of a defensive player too, a pretty good defensive player too, during that trade deadline stuff.
Man, that quarterback will be hell, whoever it is.
Yeah. Shifting back,
be in trouble, boy.
Yeah, but now they've kind of added some, they've added shot total, I think it was, and some guys on the offense and stuff like that. I think they're gonna be better than I thought they were gonna be when they made this trade. But back to the Bears, though.
That was a smart move. First of all,
I think the Bears are going to be really good. I think they're going to be really good because of this trade.
I need everybody to understand that the Bears have a black general manager. I like that. The man and a black assistant general manager, too, if we want to throw that in. The man knows what he's doing, my man. You know what I'm saying? Now, first of all, he gets rid of Mack. Right? Y'all remember that? Khalil Mack. Out of here. I don't want to see you no more. You know what I'm saying?
He was mad about that one.
Everybody was like, what the hell you doing, boy?
He was mad about that.
They have Khalil Mack now. Probably on waiver some motherfucking way. See what I'm saying?
I think he's still with the Chargers.
What was my man? God damn. They sent to the Eagles. Got Robert Quinn. We had now. Probably not. He probably on waivers. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We get rid of all these players ASAP. I like you, boy. You cut the fat. You sent us in the motherfucker. I don't like the players that you sent us in the war with, but goddamn, we got through that fire. But everything he has done since then to make up for the fact that he had no money last year. It was his first year last year, black general manager. This is second year. First of all, the first year he drafted a 5th round left tackle. Think about that now. 5th round from Southern Utah. And a left tackle play every game this year.
He was scouting, boy.
Every single game. That's what I'm talking about, baby. So now, this year, my man snatches Claypool, snatches Moore, to snatch him from their team. All these teams projected these players on their squad, bro. Yeah. We snatch them. Hey, give me that. Give me him too. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say this real quick?
I love it.
I love it too. I wish the Ravens would take a page out of that book, because the Ravens, like this is kind of what we was talking about. Like, the Ravens have had 5 years of Lamar Jackson's rookie deal. Let's just say they do sign him in year 3. You had 3 years of Lamar Jackson's rookie deal after an MVP season where he led the league in touchdown passes. Why wasn't this the move for the Ravens?
Exactly. Why are you was never aggressive?
Why are you grabbing Dez Bryant tonight? And if you are going to grab Dez Bryant, you should probably use him, right? Why are you grabbing Le'Veon Bell? Whatever. Mm-hmm. But back to the receivers.
What year Jackson was drafted?
2018.
Oh, for real? 2018?
Yep. So, so some of the best receivers I can think of: Dez Bryant, who was good, 5 years ago? Deshaun Jackson, 36-year-old Deshaun Jackson, I might add, right, is who they added. Now, here's the caveat to this, which is the funny part. You might get a laugh out of this. Did you realize that the Ravens have spent the most amount of picks on wide receivers since 2019?
Damn. Hold on, what?
And you don't know none of them.
That's not good.
So that
That
you
is
know
not
they,
good.
because they went for guys they could create into being something as opposed to the sure thing. Because my thing is, for every Miles Boykin, Tylan Wallace, there was a T. Higgins who was a sure thing, right? There was a Jamar Chase who was a sure thing.
Yeah.
My other thing is, you hit on one in Hollywood. People can say what they want to about Hollywood, right? You hit on one in Hollywood, your first 1,000-yard receiver in 5 years, traded him. When you could have paired him with Bateman, and imagine what an offense that would have been. But
So
a man can dream.
His MVP season was his second year, third year.
Second year.
That year in the draft, they could have got Deebo Samuels,
Yep.
Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, of course, Chase Claypool, but we got him now. T. Higgins was in that draft. CeeDee Lamb was in that draft. Justin Jefferson was in that draft. Hemi Rugg III was in that draft. Now, out of all those wide receivers, you mean to tell me Baltimore couldn't get none of those? Denzel Mims was in that draft.
Who did they draft? Do you have who they drafted?
Baltimore.
I can't remember who they drafted right off. But you talking about in 2020?
What year was they won MVP?
It was 20. So he won in 2019. So it would have been the 2020 draft.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shoot.
No, I mean, wide receivers was that?
And that's the crazy part about it. Let me look it up real quick. NFL,
ain't that some shit?
It's crazy. Like it's wild to me, and that's what we saying. Like everybody wants to be like, oh yeah, EDC he drafted the most receiver. Like quality over quantity. It don't matter if you drafted the most. The Bengals got Jamar Chase and then hit on T. Higgins and already had Tyler Boyd. There's a reason why they've been to the Super Bowl. Right. Among other things.
Yeah, it was like you said, the following year was Jamar Chase.
That's about right there.
Waddle, Devontae Smith, Henry Rugg III. Allen Robinson the second was in that draft. I didn't know that.
Crazy, man. So in the 20, I don't know why I'm on 2022. In the 2020 draft, so that's the one they picked up Patrick Queen. See, they're gonna make me mad. And I like Patrick Queen, but they picked up Patrick Queen with their first pick, 28th overall, which I'm not sure who was. Yeah, I'm not sure who was left, but I think like DK didn't go to the second round because people didn't believe in
CeeDee Lamb was there, wasn't he?
I think I don't know. He might have been there by then.
T. Higgins was still there.
So they picked up him, and then the second round, I love J.K. Dobbins, but they picked up J.K. Dobbins when they already had Gus Edwards, who had proven himself, and they had Mark Ingram, who was getting older, but I mean, it's a running back. You can figure it out. But I mean, I don't know. They've had chances. They've had chances to pick up stud receivers, and they would.
Baltimore, we recognize one issue they had. The wide receiver scouting department need to be fired.
The scout and not only the scouting, but like the coaching, right? Because the other thing is like the Steelers consistently pick up like just hidden gems in the draft. 4th round, 5th round, 6th round, wide receivers all over the place. Great wide receivers. Makes no sense.
And they got that certain kind of wide receiver they get though, the same size, the same build. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't like a huge receiver or a team receiver. It's like the same kind of build receiver.
They know what they want to do and they do it.
What kind of receiver they want.
And that's what I was, going back to what we were saying about the Bears. Like that's why I think they're doing exactly what they should be doing. Why you have Justin Fields on a cheap deal? Yeah, go ahead and grab, because that's the thing about it. Like a defense is important, but it's not nearly as important as it was in when the Bears had Brian Urlacher and y'all have Mike Singletary.
Best believe it.
Yeah, so like it's important, like, but it's more of a balance thing now. Like have a pretty good defense and make your offense great, because the Chiefs defense has been suspect for like the past 4 years, and all they've done is win 2 Super Bowls.
They were better last year though.
Yeah, it was a little better last year, but it's just like it just don't make no, like I think in the Super Bowl, like both teams gave up like 30 some points, and the Eagles had like one of the top defenses in the league. It don't really matter at the end of the day. Score.
The Chiefs will score 30 regardless.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you keep up with that shit?
And some of it, with the exception of you maybe can say last year was the talent that Mahomes had around him. You got one of the best tight ends, Hall of Fame tight end, Travis Kelce. You got Tyreek Hill, who is going to take 1 or 2 eyes off of another receiver. And then this year you got, even with Valdez-Scantling, right? Like, I mean, he's not as great as Tyreek or any of those other guys, but I mean, he's solid. And I think Juju gives you what you need, right? Mahomes
still need Jackson man to get a motherfucking agent, bro. This is getting stupid now.
Yeah,
I need my man to get an agent, bro.
We'll see how it goes,
man. Tomorrow we need to wake up and hearing that Lamar Jackson is just signed an agent.
I just want him to be signed. Like that's it. Like
because the agent gonna tell him, forget this guaranteed shit, bro. Let's get back on the field. All right.
I just
you're gonna get generational wealth. 190 million. What's wrong with you?
I just want him to be signed, man. Like, he just brings a spark to the team, man. Like, you understand what I'm saying with Justin Fields? It's different. It feels different.
You best believe I'll be.
You love watching the game.
Niggas trade him for any fucking reason.
Like I can imagine like how crazy it's gonna be with Claypool and DJ Moore, and they probably. They still got Mims, right?
No,
they probably gonna grab another receiver in the draft at some point, even if it's a late guy. So it's just they probably gonna draft like a speedster, like somebody to kind of add some speed to the Claypool and DJ Moore type thing. But I like what they done. I like what they done.
Aggressive GM, I love it. And every move he make, people be like, "What do you do that for?" Like his first draft, he drafted a safety in the corner. Everybody like, "Huh?" You know what I'm saying? They the best players we have on the whole fucking team. You know what I'm saying? Besides the great number one. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I've been loving everything he's been doing, all the picks he's been making. He got 10 picks this year. I want to see what the hell he did with those, because he got a lot of good picks this last year that went past, and he had no number one. So he got number one this year. He flipped that into a number one receiver. So I'm loving my GM, bro. You know what I'm
saying? And probably a number one receiver that you might not have got a better receiver in the draft. Like
oh, hell no.
That's the thing, and that's what I was talking about before. Like
we picked up the best receivers.
Sure thing.
Not only that, we picked up what's his name? Khalil Henry. Khalil Harry from the Patriots. He was a first round pick.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
They got him too. It's like they picked up a lot of first round picks all over the league. Right. And pulled them in the cap, Slim. So he did too. So you never know. He might bust out.
As we wrap up, was anything else you wanted to talk about before we get up out of here? Anything else on your mind?
Nah, sports in general, nah. Oh, wrestling, yeah. The lady in the AEW, baby. I love this girl, baby.
You talking about Jay? You like Jay?
Oh
Jay
my God.
I knew you like her.
Oh my God. Yes, indeed. She pulls me back into wrestling. That's a goddamn show.
What you think of AEW? Because I know for those. By the way, for those of you who don't know, I also host the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. So I love pro wrestling. So you're getting a little personal taste here, but like what you think of AEW? So far, like how you feel about it? The little bit, whatever you watched, or how much have you watched?
It just seems more like of a product of a TNA product You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's just I just like any product that put women in the forefront because to me,
Yeah.
women make the best matches. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
we kind of figure what men do. Like when you watch a man match, you kind of figure everything that's about to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just the
Mhm.
women, you don't know what can they do. You know what I'm saying? So when you see them do certain moves or certain finishing moves, you be like, oh shit, that's tight. You know what I'm saying? When you're expecting a dude to do certain shit like that, normally, you feel me?
Yeah.
So
If they come to your, if they come, if they come around your way, make sure you go. Clear,
AEW,
yeah, clear out your schedule and go. I went to one. Was it here? I think it was in Greensboro. But they came to Charlotte, and I don't think I was in town that time. But if they come, like whether it's a house show or just a Dynamite or well, so basically what they do is they do Rampage and Dynamite on the same night, so you get two shows for the price of the one you pay for.
okay.
So I mean, if they come to you around your neck of the woods, you should definitely go. I had a lot of fun. My brother still talks about the show. He still be talking about it, about how much he liked it. So
I'm in love with the women's champ, you know what I'm saying? At all. I just love the fact that, you know what I'm saying? The only thing I don't like is everybody's trying to like you got AEW, you still got what's the other joint? ROH.
yeah.
You got all these people again, it gives me the same argument of why y'all not collaborating together? Because there's one person sucking up the room.
Mm-hmm.
And he returned too, but man, he returned, right?
Well, he was supposed to. I think he came back.
For real.
Yeah, I
This
think he
be
came back.
storylines.
Yeah.
Like you never
It
know
is.
what these motherfuckers would ever happen. He could fall off the roof of a building. You gotta stop and say, is that a storyline? It's almost like motherfuckers on the internet. You be like, is he doing that for views? You can do that with McMahon. You be like, oh wait, is that a storyline? What the fuck is this? Is this serious? You know what I'm saying? The motherfucking wrestling storylines is what the views is on the internet now. You know.
But I definitely gonna have to have you on. We're gonna have to get together like at least once a month or something, man. Like
Yeah, we
I
gotta go
just
over
see
this
that.
motherfucker free agent joint before it's over.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's been a lot of crazy stuff going on, man. But as always, you guys can catch me on and Rabid on the Perspective Podcast, Fly Nation Speaks, Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. All those you can catch us on all your favorite, and your favorite's favorite platforms that you like to listen or watch your podcast on. So YouTube, if you like to watch them, Facebook if you like to watch them, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, et cetera, et cetera. But you can always catch us. I'm gonna be sure to link whenever this is posted. I'm gonna be sure to link Rabbit's channel on the thing too, so you can find him wherever you need to find him. One more time, let them know where they can find you at, and we're gonna get on.
Third Perspective Podcast. Some Rabid Jones for show. Holler at your boys each and every Sunday night, Thursday night live. You know what I'm saying? Dog, we going to hip hop trending topics. You know what I'm saying? We going up motherfucking. One thing we do, we go back in the day and critique rapping, freestyling. So I want y'all to check that out when we do that on podcast too. You know what I'm saying, though. But other than that, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts at, we be there. You know what I'm saying, dog?
All right, man. I appreciate you coming by. I really do had a lot of fun, good discussion. Gonna have to definitely have you back on, but
That's what's up.
But as always, I'll see you guys on the next show. Definitely hope you guys enjoyed the show. Like always, make sure you check Rabbit out on all his different platforms. Make sure you check out Fly Nation Speaks. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe if you had a place to subscribe. If you are not, just share wherever you listening or watching. You can just share and let somebody know. Let somebody know about Fly Nation Speaks, your favorite Baltimore Ravens podcast. That is, I mean, like we said before, it covers the greatest team in NFL history if you are a Ravens fan, of course. But we'll see you guys on the next one. Definitely be sure to do all the things that I just said. I'll see you guys on the next one. Until next time.